I think my biggest personal challenge was the temptation to quit. I was the pioneer who quit before he started. I think even before we did our first set, I was like, this is too hard, I'm giving up. And that was my constant complaint before the Lord for at least a decade. And I think the moment that struck me was there was a worship leader who was in town. I was here for a conference. We were both leading, and I had coffee with him. And it was probably inspired by the Holy Spirit. You know, he looked me in the eye and he went like, "Josh, you know, the biggest temptation for any forerunner is the temptation to quit." Then I'm like, "Oh, he knows me, man." And then he looked at me, and he's a big black guy. He's like, "But you don't get to do that." I'm like, "Whoa!" Then he's like, "Because he called you." And something in me just like, I was like, wow, like if the Lord called me, who am I to quit? Right? If he said do this, who am I to give up? You know, and I feel like we need people like that in our lives. We need a community to run hard with. If you look at us up here, like there are bad hair days in the spirit as well, right? And there are days where you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. But when you have people around you, and I was just talking to this Burning Hearts, the community, when I was there, I was like, you know, when I show up and I'm tired and exhausted, and I see like these mothers who had to take care of 3 kids and settle all of their meals and then whatever, and then they show up in the prayer room and their kids are screaming, but they are leading us in intercession, going up into the glorious heights of worship and prayer, and then turning around and making sure their kids are not dying, you know, and then like, I'm like, there's such a sacrifice that people are paying to do this, and their yes adds to my yes. Sacrifice that the people have paid to show up and to love the Lord and to pray and to intercede and to live missionally, it provokes me. And I pray that my life provokes others. You know, and it's so important to do that in community.